So it's my intention to do a video here of some of the things we've done to a Catalina 22. I bought this boat about a year ago, and maybe a little over a year, and we took it on several cruises here in North Carolina, and short cruises, day trips and stuff, and I just wanted to show some of the things we did. We also took it to Clearwater, Florida. I'm originally from Florida, so I knew kind of where I was going, but we took it to Clearwater, made a little trip, and I've got a short video of sailing offshore there, but I just wanted to show some of the things that I've done, upgrades to it. Number one, other than outside the boat, which I'll do in another video because it's dark outside, but one of the coolest things I've done that was pretty neat is I made this galley. You know, the old galleys that came in these boats were they slid in this track right here, and they were heavy once you filled them up with water and loaded them down with a little bit of cooking stuff, and they had the sink, which we don't use because we found that we do most of it outside in the cockpit anyway, so wasn't much point. That little sink's kind of useless, and the pump half worked. I mean, this boat is a hull number 85, 88, so it's built in the 70s. But this is kind of cool. What I did is I got these stainless steel slides from Amazon. And as you can see, they're ball bearing slides. They work really good, but I built this galley, and my original thought was to open up part of it where I put my dishes and stuff, but I didn't think far enough ahead, and this didn't open. It was hinged in the back, but it didn't open correctly, so I've still got to fix that. But as you can see, this I'm gonna fix it where I can put a few cooking things inside, and I've got to fix blocks where it'll stay on there. But the cool thing was the slides. It's really easy to open and shut, and we just use this little camp stove here that uses these little butane gas bottles, which is pretty cool. So I've got a place for dishes in the back and the cooker in the front, and then underneath the cooker, you can see how easy that slides in and out. I love these slides, these drawer slides, and they'll hold like 100 pounds. So then I made this drawer out of cypress. I had some cypress laying around, made that. Got a little leather handle there. I had a piece of scrap leather, but it's got a notch on the bottom, as you can see there, that keeps it from just popping out. But that's where we keep a little bit of silverware and some cooking utensils in there. I made this. This was just a nail apron I got somewhere, and you can snap it off, and I can take it outside and snap it outside if I want to, but basically just snaps on right here. I found that I throw stuff right here while I'm sailing, so it's a place for a pair of binoculars, maybe your cell phone right here, or whatever you want to do. And this here I made out of a half of a bucket liner for tools, and the same thing. I just cut it in two and then put snaps on it so it can be snapped on and off. And then I put a new a new standard Horizon radio in, and back here, this was really handy on our last trip. I took some old fishing net that I found around here and put a elastic piece of elastic stuff from a kayak shop we had here. You can buy all that stuff, but anyway, I took this thing off and put it down behind it and put this. It's a little messed up now. I gotta unscrew it and fix it back up, but it's just a simple piece of fishing net with an eye bolt on both sides so that it could be. And this is where we keep a lot of stuff up here. Keep first aid kit, and these are my boat papers. And the goal is to take this boat to the Bahamas, so I did a lot of things to it in order to get ready for that. I put new cushions. There's new cushions I put in here. I took the old cushions and I had a bolt of Carhartt, some old Carhartt canvas that I got at a salvage place for like 50 bucks, and then I had a local upholstery guy cover them. He charged me like maybe $200 to do that, but it worked out pretty good. But anyway, on these Catalinas, the old switch panel is down here. I took it out, and I'm gonna cover this with something, but I took that out and moved it up here because anything that I put inside this storage place was getting against the back of the wiring, and plus I would hit it with my foot when I came through the companionway. I would always hit that with my foot, and I even broke one of the switches. And this switch panel I got it's a marine switch panel, but I got it off of Amazon, and then I rewired everything behind here. So maybe in another video I'll show that, but everything got, and I'm not afraid to expose some wiring. In fact, if I can see it, I can fix it. If I run it inside the liner or do anything like that, it's really hard to repair if something was to happen to it, or pull a new one real quick or whatever. But I put this fan in, again, got it cheap off of Amazon, and this old lantern, I really need. There's a really cool story behind this lantern. I've had 9 sailboats, and this lantern has been on the last 3 boats I had. It was pretty cool. The story behind that, it actually came from a lady that back in the 60s sailed across the Atlantic from North Carolina to Europe on a little 27-foot boat. So it's pretty cool. Story behind that. Maybe I'll tell that story sometime. But another thing that's a problem with these Catalina 22s is this table will come up. If you lean or push on this side of the table, it'll pop up. And so while you're underway, so I put these latches on there, and they keep the table from popping up. I put one on both sides. Another thing I did, and it wasn't my idea. I found this on YouTube. There was a guy fixing a Catalina 22 with a fixed keel. This is a swing keel. He was fixing a fixed keel to do a Bahama trip, but he had a really good idea, because I put these hinges. I put new hinges on all of the all of the storage places. I made them where they'll hinge up, and most of them lock. This one doesn't, but most of them does have a latch on it. So I love making storage containers, or I like having a lot of places to put stuff. So here's an old nail apron that I made a storage place just to put the liners for the little toilet, or the little, it's just a bucket toilet, but I made those. I added this hatch here. There's a lot of wasted space in these boats, so I made them accessible and then put bulkheads in so that they could and this thing I found at a sale or something. It was pretty cheap, but I like the fact that it's vented in here so your stuff doesn't get so moldy. It's got a little airflow. And then I put a bulkhead up here and put a bulkhead back here in this side, because if you've got a Catalina 22, you know that all this space at one time is all connected. So stuff would get up there underneath the V-berth and I couldn't get it out, or it didn't keep it separated. It was rolling around all the time, so I learned to do that. Another thing I did is I also did one up here. I closed this part off, and my thoughts are at some point when I can afford it, I'm going to fill all that void up forward of this with the 2-part foam. But this is just a little cover I made to cover up the sending units for the depth sounders on the boat. I've got an old Hawkeye depth sounder that's been working great, but then I put a Simrad 7 on this boat too, and you can see I just glassed it all in, and then hit it with some Rust-Oleum white. I still got a little bit of painting to do on it, but this is cypress, and I kind of made a place. So underneath here is my depth sounders sending units, or I'm sorry, I can't think of the name of it right now, but you can see how I made all these latch. And I used this V-berth the first time, you know, in here, but I'm a big guy, and I kept hitting my head on the top and stuff, and it just sucked, so I don't use it much anymore. In here is where I keep my rod and reels. I got some rod and reel holders from Walmart or something, and I put them right there. Here's my porta potty thing, and I just took a block of wood and cut it out for a bucket, and then cut another one for the bottom. And it's real easy to come off. And right here I have a hook so that I can put, I don't know where it is, but I've got a thing that goes around there and holds it on, just a bungee. And this is just one of these porta things, and it's got this these liners that has the stuff in the bottom. This hasn't never been used, but it's got this stuff in the bottom that absorbs anything that you need to, and you can buy those too on Amazon, so that's pretty cool. Right up here is a real important thing that everybody really needs to do if they got one of these Catalina 22s, because they were bad to rip the forestay all the way out of the deck. So what I did is, when I replaced the U-bolt that you pull the boat up on the trailer with, I actually went ahead. That's a piece of epay, like decking, that really hard decking wood. That's a piece of epay that I cut in a way, and then that'd fit in the bow, and then I put butyl tape behind it. I love butyl tape. And then it's got a piece I've had at one of my old boats. That's you know what that is? That's off of a turnbuckle. So I put that on there through this piece of steel that I had laying around, and then hooked it up to a U-bolt that bolts through the bow, where the where the forestay hooks to the front of the boat. This right here bolts all of it together, and then that will tighten it down. My lights, this boat got struck by lightning and it burned up all the LEDs, so I'm in the process of replacing all the LEDs in the boat. I've got most of them done, but this is the bow lights wire hanging down here. So also, which I'll show in another video, I put me a big old cleat in the middle of the foredeck, and this is the backing plate. It's a piece of 1/4 inch aluminum that I had, so I put that on there because those plastic cleats that are on these boats, I don't like plastic cleats. I mean, good Lord, I mean, would you want to tie off to that and get towed or something? I mean, that sucks. So this is a big old galvanized cleat on the outside, which I'll show next time, but this is the backing plate to it. I just put one in the center. I always have. I use a cleat in the bow for a lot of stuff, so I like that. I put new LED lights in this boat. This light's pretty cool because it doesn't show up probably on the camera, but it goes red and white. I made a place here to hold charts right behind the companionway hatch slide. There's a place here. These things you find them at a kayak shop. We happen to have a kayak shop here, and they have these little kits with these hooks and stuff, and I like this stuff here because I use it for a lot of stuff on the boat. But anyway, that's kind of some of the stuff I did to get this boat ready to go. But I'll show the outside of it at another time and show what I did to the outside of it, because that's really the important stuff. I mean, I put a new bilge pump in with a new switch in the inside. There's my battery disconnect, and I'll just show my wiring for all that because it's right behind this, and I put my new switch panel in right there, and it's dirty right now. We have a huge problem with pollen this time of year. It's all over everything, but it has a USB and a 12 volt. But I also have a refrigerator, just a car refrigerator that I put in here. I have a 100 amp hour battery inside, and I use that. Hopefully the camera picks it up, but that's a 30 watt solar panel on the stern rail that keeps the battery up. So I'll show the back, the things I did. I added some cockpit drains back here because cockpit drains on this boat, you know, they're less than adequate. Anyway, that's pretty much what I did. I've got the outside is where the cool stuff is, but I also did rebed all the windows with the Catalina Direct kit. So all the windows have been rebedded with those, and that was a good project to do it. No water in the boat now. And then I bought the kit, and I haven't did it yet, but I bought the kit for the pop top to make with the shocks to make it easy to do. But anyway, that's the first thing. We're going to take it to the Bahamas. Hopefully, if we can get a weather window in the 10 or 12 days I've got off of work. We'll see. If I don't, I'm not going to push it. So hopefully it works out for us. But just a little video to show everybody what's up with the little Catalina 22. All right, have a good day.